Pierre Poilievre, a name that resonates with a certain defiance, a certain audacity. Even his name sounds like a challenge, doesn't it? It's as if he's daring the world to underestimate him, to misjudge his resolve. He's like if a Canadian goose put on a suit and decided to run for office. Majestic yet unyielding, graceful yet ready to defend its territory at any cost. And right now, this particular goose has chosen to square off against a familiar foe, the United States of America. The stakes are high and the tension is palpable. Poilievre is not afraid of a trade war. In fact, he seems downright eager for one. He's ready to take on the challenge head first, with a determination that's almost palpable. In fact, he seems downright eager for one. He's not just prepared, he's enthusiastic. He sees it as an opportunity to prove his mettle, to show the world what Canada is made of. He sees the US under the current administration as a bully, pushing Canada around on trade, and he's had enough. He's ready to push back, to stand his ground, and he's not having it. Forget being nice. This is about respect, about standing up for what's right. Poilievre's motto is more like fight fire with maple syrup after you've poured it all over the bully's head. It's a uniquely Canadian approach, blending politeness with a firm stance. He's taking a hard line, pushing back against tariffs and trade disputes. He's not just defending Canada's interests, he's actively challenging the status quo. He's standing up for Canada, he says, and he's doing it with a certain flair. There's a charisma to his defiance, a charm to his resistance. And he's doing it with a certain flair. Buckle up, America. Things are about to get interesting. The world is watching. And Poilievre is ready to make his mark. Things are about to get interesting. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the drama is about to unfold. Stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. So, how exactly is Poilievre planning to win this trade war? Well, he's got a few tricks up his sleeve. First on the list, targeting America's love for all things boozy. Poilievre's gone after American alcohol sales in Canada. He's directed the LCBO, Ontario's Liquor Control Board, to pull all American booze from their shelves. That's right, no more Kentucky bourbon or California wine for you, Ontario. This move impacts over 3,500 American products, costing U.S. businesses a cool $1 billion. It's a bold move, sure, but is it enough to make America cry, Uncle Sam? Time will tell. Poilievre's not stopping at booze. His ambitions stretch far beyond the realm of alcohol regulations. He's also got his eye on some of Canada's most valuable resources, uranium and nickel. These minerals are not just rocks in the ground, they are the backbone of modern industry and technology. He's hinted at using these exports as leverage in trade negotiations. Imagine the power of having such critical resources at your disposal when sitting across the table from international trade partners. Imagine. America needs uranium for its power plants, nickel for its steel. These materials are essential for energy production and manufacturing, making them highly sought after. And Canada's sitting on a big old pile of both. The vast reserves of these minerals could be a game changer for Canada's economic landscape. It's enough to make a bald eagle sweat, but that's not all. The strategic importance of these resources cannot be overstated. Poilievre also wants Canadians to buy Ontario. This initiative is more than just a slogan. It's a call to action for supporting local industries and businesses. He's pushing for labels on products, clearly showing their country of origin. This transparency allows consumers to make informed choices and support their local economy. Want that shiny new widget? Make sure it's got a maple leaf on it, eh? This simple act of checking for a label can have a profound impact on national pride and economic growth. It's all part of Poilievre's plan to boost Canadian industries and stick it to the Americans. By encouraging the purchase of locally made products, he aims to strengthen the domestic market and reduce reliance on foreign goods. This strategy not only supports Canadian jobs, but also fosters a sense of national unity and pride. Remember when Trump went after Canadian dairy farmers? Well, Poilievre hasn't forgotten, and he's got a plan to hit back where it hurts: fertilizer. Canada supplies a whopping 87% of America's fertilizer. That's right, America, you want your crops to grow? You need Canada. And Poilievre's suggesting they might just have to find a new fertilizer dealer. Where would all that fertilizer go, you ask? Well, Poilievre suggests sending it to Ukraine. They could use a little help after all. Plus, it's not like they're starting a trade war with Canada anytime soon. Section 5, Trump. Bad for America, bad for business. Now, Poilievre doesn't mince words when it comes to the former US president. He's called him out for his aggressive trade tactics, accusing him of hurting not just Canada, but America too. Tariffs are taxes, Poilievre argues, and those taxes are paid by everyday Americans. They're the ones feeling the pinch at the cash register, not some faceless corporation. He's accused Trump of putting American jobs at risk, driving up prices, and generally being bad for business. It's a harsh critique, but one that resonates with many struggling Americans. Poilievre doesn't reserve his criticism for Trump alone. He's also taken aim at the American media, accusing them of downplaying the negative impacts of Trump's policies on their own people. He's singled out media giants like Fox News, CNN, and MSNBC, accusing them of creating an echo chamber that shields Americans from the truth. They're more interested in pushing a narrative than reporting the facts, he argues. It's a bold claim, but one that raises important questions about the role of media in shaping public opinion. Are Americans getting the full story? Or are they being fed a carefully curated version of events? Poilievre knows that Canada can't fight this battle alone. He's called for a united front, urging other provinces to join Ontario in its stand against the US. He's reached out to premiers across the country, urging them to adopt similar measures. From banning American products to promoting local businesses, he wants to see a Canada that stands together. Well, almost all of Canada. Quebec, as usual, is doing its own thing. Remember when Elon Musk became everyone's hero for providing Starlink internet to Ukraine? Well, Poilievre hasn't forgotten Musk's more recent, let's call them, controversies. He's suggested that Canada might want to reconsider its deal with Starlink. Given Musk's erratic behavior, it's a risky move, sure, but it sends a message. Canada won't do business with anyone who doesn't share its values, even if it means slower internet speeds. So, is Poilievre's strategy working? This is the question on everyone's mind as they watch his every move. His approach is unconventional, to say the least, and it has certainly garnered a lot of attention. But attention alone doesn't equate to success. The real measure will be in the results he can deliver. It's too early to say for sure. Political strategies often take time to bear fruit, and the landscape is always shifting. What works today might not work tomorrow. However, the early indicators are promising. His bold moves have already started to shift the conversation and bring new issues to the forefront. But one thing's for certain, he's shaken things up. The political scene in Canada is no longer the same. His actions have forced both allies and opponents to rethink their strategies. This kind of disruption can be a double-edged sword, but it's clear that Poilievre is willing to take that risk. He's shown that Canada won't be bullied. In a world where political pressure can come from all sides, standing firm is a statement in itself. Poilievre's stance has resonated with many Canadians who feel that their country should not be pushed around on the global stage. He's playing hardball, but he's doing it with a certain Canadian politeness. This unique blend of firmness and courtesy is something that sets him apart. It's a strategy that says we can be tough, but we don't have to be rude. This approach has its own charm and effectiveness. It's like being chastised by a very polite moose. Imagine a large, imposing creature that could easily overpower you, but instead, it gently nudges you in the right direction. That's the essence of Poilievre's strategy. It's powerful, yet unexpectedly gentle. You know you've been told, but you can't help but be charmed by the whole thing. This charm is a crucial part of his appeal. It's not just about what he says, but how he says it. His ability to connect with people on a personal level makes his message more compelling. Whether you agree with his tactics or not, one thing is clear. Poilievre is a force to be reckoned with. His presence in the political arena is undeniable. He has managed to capture the attention of both supporters and critics alike, making him a central figure in Canadian politics. He's rewriting the rules of engagement, and the world is watching. This isn't just a local phenomenon. International observers are keenly interested in how his strategies will play out. The ripple effects of his actions could extend far beyond Canada's borders. This is the art of the deal, Canadian style. It's a blend of assertiveness and diplomacy, toughness and politeness. It's a new way of doing things that could redefine political negotiations, and it might just work. Only time will tell if this approach will yield the desired results, but for now it's a fascinating development in the world of politics.